Hello everybody. This is Listening Lotus coming back to you with another reading. I hope everybody is doing well out there and taking good care of yourselves, okay? Between minding your business, drinking your water, telling people no, setting those boundaries, kicking ass, taking ass, doing all the shit, okay? I encourage it all. Do it all when you can, how you can, whenever you see fit. Again, thank you guys so much for all the likes, shares, and subscriptions. I really do appreciate this, y'all. Like, as I'm going on my journey, I'm just trying to help people reach the peak of their lotus while they're on their journey, one reading at a time, whether if that's personal or through the web, okay? That's what we're here for. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I always want to put that out there or whatever, but I'm not going to hold y'all, so let's go ahead and just see what exactly is going on. And it's going to be a little bit lengthy today. I'm feeling that it's going to be lengthy. I'm feeling the length. But then again, I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and see what comes out. Okay. And so the card that we have is Sacred Waters. Okay, make sure y'all can see that. Yeah, Sacred Waters with the number 35. Okay, make sure, can y'all see the card? Hold on, let me see. Should I change it? Is that a little bit better? Boom. That looks a little bit better. I don't know. Or is it this one? Different settings have, there we go, y'all. I think that's better. Okay, anyway, because I want to make sure that y'all can read the words to read it with me. Sacred Water says, drunken by the swell of the sea, I can feel the blanket of her embrace. Unafraid of the presence, releasing the cords, I call her deeply within. And honestly, this could go back to a lot of just like the cleansing and clearing energy that has been floating around, honestly. Okay, that's been floating around. Let's see what furthermore that this card has. Bada boom. And it is about healing. Okay, I love that. Okay, let me put this. Okay. The healing card. Okay, allowing the water to basically like wash over you, consuming more water. Okay. Taking baths, being near water in any way, shape, or form or fashion, okay? Just even hearing the sounds of water. I know some people or whatever, like sometimes it helps them sleep, listening to like the sounds of rain, and just like hearing that, whether if it happens outside in the physical, actually, sometimes that's usually the best sleep is when it's raining outside, honestly. You don't be wanting to do nothing but just kind of like just cuddle up and go to bed. So these are different forms of water that are just like really just allowing yourself to just go through a clearing process, okay, with the healing card. So this card comes to a reading when you are ready to heal wounds that have troubled you for many moons, perhaps lingering pains from things lost or the weight of the past that creeps up to haunt you at night. Pulling sacred waters is a sign that you will soon be renewed and your soul will release the cords that have bound you to hurtful memories of the old. Okay, so if somebody's been like reminiscing or just ruminating the past lately, that's valid. People go through different seasons or whatever with that, but it's always important to understand like you can't live in that space, right? And so doing different things to kind of like just help you clear out and wash that energy off of you if you see fit. And that could just be anywhere, like I said, from a bath to a shower, or just drinking more water, consuming more water, allowing yourself to stay as hydrated as possible, sweating it out, from working out, or going for a walk or run or whatever the case may be. Just really still be doing like the healing, cleansing process. You may not know what needs to be healed. You could be carrying baggage that isn't immediately present to your consciousness. So that's something to be mindful of, okay? But the effects of such deep healing will become evident in the changes happening around you. Do not question the blessings coming into your life. They are here because you are slowly learning to wash away the blocks that have previously prevented such abundance. Okay? So being a lot more open-minded as to how even different ways or forms, shapes, or fashions that you perceive abundance to be. I think I had talked about that in a previous reading, where a lot of people think, just do this simple exercise. When you hear the word abundance, what is the first thing that you think of? I would even argue to allow that to be on the back burner as to what you immediately think of when you think of abundance. Because if it was finances it's great, it's good, but let's keep it a buck, especially with the way the economy and stuff is going. Your abundance might not always come in a form of some type of financial support. It could simply be a referral, or it could be like somebody giving you a motivational speech. You never know, okay? That kind of like just sparks that or ignites you to persevere, okay, depending on what your situation is. I don't know you. Sacred waters also reminds you to be gentle with yourself in the upcoming weeks. This is not nothing that's gonna be like quick, okay? Really being gentle with yourself at all times, of course, but definitely being even more gentle on yourself now while you're going through this transition stage. Difficult emotions or painful memories may surface, but this is your spirit bringing them to your awareness so that you can be healed for good, okay? If you do experience painful memories, allow them to wash over you, okay? And I like that this card specifically is basically telling people that it's okay to allow yourself to feel how you feel in real time. And I know that a lot of times or whatever, depending on how a person processes certain things or whatever, per societal norms, right? It can be perceived as sometimes like, oh, this person is crying or whatever, and so it make them look like they weak, and it's like, no, that's how they process stuff or whatever. And honestly, the people that's crying and going through them emotions in real time or whatever, they actually be the real deal healed ones, for real, because suppressing all of that and then only dealing with it behind closed corners or behind closed doors a lot of times or whatever, like, they don't even be doing it then. So you constantly suppressing it and putting it in your subconscious. And the reason why I'm saying that is because in the beginning of this, it said that a lot of y'all might not even necessarily know what it is that you are like healing from, because it's like in your subconscious. It's been like, it definitely ain't at the forefront. You don't even know why you may be processing or feeling why you feeling, okay? Because you gotta let that come up out of there. But yeah, if you do experience painful memories, allow them to wash over you. Don't try to overcome what you feel or allow yourself to feel guilty for what you're feeling. Simply experience the wave and allow it to pass at its leisure, okay? With the Sacred Waters card. That was so empowering, okay? Because I feel like, I don't know who I'm talking to, but that needs to be said, especially in today's times or whatever, with people being too desensitized, or being too even acting like people having regular emotions or whatever, if they're not being stoic or nonchalant or whatever, like, or they not being quote unquote, I think the new word is unbothered. If they not perceiving or acting like they unbothered about everything or whatever, then it makes them look like they're irate or whatever the fuck you fill in the blank for. It's like, they're just angry, and it's like, yeah, these are valid emotions or whatever. Now, do you need to be spewing that shit out amongst everybody? No, you need to be able to check yourself as to, but some of it is a tricky line, because it's like you want to be able to be vulnerable with the people around you. Now, I don't recommend people doing this shit at work, but maybe that's something that needs to be unlearned as well. People are going through a lot of pressure in several different ways, shape, or forms, okay? And however they choose to start that healing process, if you will, like, it's going to look different to every person or whatever, okay? Somebody that may be grieving, how they grieve or whatever is going to work, but they might go to work one day or whatever and they just can't shake that shit off no more, and they just start crying. They still doing their work, doing what they need to do, but they just allowing y'all to see, you feel me? And it's like, that don't make them weak. That don't mean start fucking with them or whatever. Don't push your limits. Okay, this is just an example, so again, but because it ain't me. But even allowing people to really see that or whatever, like, that person is more strong than what they think they are. Okay, seriously. So don't don't underestimate anybody. That's for damn sure. Okay, let's see what else with the Lotus cards. I love these cards. Y'all know how I feel. It's a few decks or whatever that just really got my heart. And this is one of them. Now, I appreciate all of them, whatever, because each deck is like a child of mine, okay? Each deck is like a child of mine. But we just gonna see what comes out. Let's see what comes out. I might have to turn my truck off. I hope it's not too loud. If anybody that knows, I am a truck driver, y'all, and I'll be doing this on the floor of my truck. Sometimes I'm not doing loads, but yeah. And y'all probably be like, where the hell, or who the hell, yeah. My ass be on 10-4 I-10 good buddy. So let's see what else to follow up with the sacred waters about this healing energy for the collective. Okay, because I know how these like to act sometimes, and guess what, I'm okay with them not having a message, but I just know these cards tend to be a little something else. So yes, what do you have for the collective regarding healing? Okay, there we go. Regarding healing, and just the healing energy as a whole. Okay, we got 3. I'll start from the bottom. First card is to sit with the wound. Okay, how right on time is that? Okay, sit with the wound and allow yourself to feel how you feeling about what you feeling while you're going through the healing process. That is so important. Okay, it says not everything needs to be fixed right away. Some healing begins when you're willing to stay with what hurts. That, look, that's what the card said. Okay, so for this healing energy, again, I'm reiterating, like, I cannot express that enough. You know, a lot of people try to sit up here and make it seem like on the outside, like everything is fine and everything is good, but on behalf of just what is going on in the world as a whole, right? How many times do everybody need to, as a whole or as a collective, sit up here and act like they ain't going through shit when the whole world is going through shit? Like, don't piss me off. I don't know who I'm talking to, but that shit need to be said, because this is like, how many times is everybody gonna sit up here and act like, yeah, they just cool, knowing that you ain't fucking cool? Like, people need people, okay? Like, shoot, that's... Anyway, it says step into divine timing with the healing card, okay? And I'm going, before I even read this, divine timing, you're going to know when your divine timing is. It's going to speak to you. You're going to sit in this energy long enough, and then you're going to come up out of it one day. Something just going to come across you, and you're going to be like, now's the time. You're going to be on your Lion King at the end of that rock, talking to your baby cub, or the bird, or whoever, okay? Fill in the blank. Could even be yourself, okay? You're talking to the sunset, whatever. But yeah, stepping into divine timing. It says what's meant for you won't pass you by. Trust the delays. Okay, look here, okay? Because this need to be talked about. Step into step into divine timing. Sorry, y'all, I got so excited now I'm stuttering. All right, I'm not a natural stutterer, but you know, it happens. But it says trust the delays. They're aligning your path, okay? And let's just get into it, because a lot of times or whatever, we be sitting over here being hard-headed, okay? We trying to force the timing to be what the fuck we want it to be. And it's like, yeah, these delays is happening for a reason. And honestly, I'm gonna go a step further, because it just needs to be said. A lot of the times when you're going through certain delays or whatever, you are real deal being protected from some shit. And you may not know what the fuck you being protected from, okay? But I feel like this needs to be said, because a lot of people be like, oh, I feel like I was getting setback after setback, and it's just like, it just wasn't your timing, you feel me? Like, you'll know when your timing is, because when your timing comes, that shit gonna go back to back to back to back to back. I mean, layer after layer after layer. That's how it's gonna go. I mean, it's gonna be hit after hit. You on the top of the charts for like a week straight. But in the meantime, stay with the wound, okay? Allow yourself to really feel that shit so you can heal that shit. Oh, y'all like I did that. I like that right there, okay? And it says rewire the way you love. It says when pain becomes the pattern in love, it's time to relearn connection, to begin again differently, okay? So somebody really, even when it comes to healing or healing your heart space or whatever, or how you have viewed love or whatever, okay, this is major. So if this was more so having to do with like a heartbreak and stuff like that, okay, we all done been there or whatever, but you can't suppress that shit. You gotta really feel that shit and really go through with understanding what that wound is like. And not only that, when you rewiring or unlearning and relearning the way that you want to be loved, just across the board, this can go for friendships, family, all that, right? When you're going through that rewiring process or whatever, or even with you sitting in these wounds, like, honestly, there's different levels to that, where it's like, you know how they say this, is it 5 to 7 different levels of somebody grieving, right? I feel like everybody goes through that too, when you going through like these heartbreaks and stuff like that. And honestly, why I say that is because, like, if you look it up, I don't know the numbers for sure, so don't quote me specifically, but I know there's different phases. Like, the first phase might be like complete denial, okay, of like someone passing or whatever. Maybe somebody even passed away while you going through this or whatever, and you like trying to keep yourself busy and go through certain stuff or whatever, when it's like, no, you need to really feel this shit, okay? You need to really sit in it. You need to cry it, okay? That's crying is also another healing, releasing, that also involves water, with the sacred waters or whatever. Like, all of this is so impactful, because coming out on the other side of it is you literally receiving everything how you wanted to receive it, but most importantly, being treated in the way that you always wanted to be treated, okay? Where the love that you're pouring out or whatever is always being reciprocated back to you in tenfold. But yes, with rewiring the way that you love or whatever, like having to relearn the way that you even connect with others, okay? And just really getting a better understanding of yourself. And when you're going through all these different processes or whatever, through everything that is being said, let's just keep it a buck. Like, you're going to have to practice this stuff with the people around you. You're going to have to practice it with your actions and stuff. And when you go through certain actions and everything, that's going to let you know how far that you've came by actually practicing and implementing the new ways that you have taught or learned yourself to love. You got to actually start practicing that stuff. So, you can't be under no rock. You got to actually, you got to put yourself out there, okay? If you're single, or even if you're in a relationship or whatever, okay? Relationships go through all different types of levels of growth, okay? And sometimes in seasons or whatever, of like y'all really just trying to get a better understanding of learning the new versions of y'all, because y'all gonna go through different stages of learning each other. Like, that shit takes time, okay? That shit takes time, and y'all may have to sit in the discomfort or whatever it is that you need to, for your ultimate healing to begin or end. Because I feel like somebody is slowly coming out of this because of with the step into divine timing card. It's like you started off like this. It's the same person, okay? They look the same, damn near. But you started off like this. But you sat in it long enough where you're going to come out as this. And in the process of you sitting in this, okay, there's a story. You are also implementing, through action. After you just sat through this or whatever, you working through the ways of how you've either loved people or how you want to be loved. And okay. And now you at peace. You're going to come out on the other side. You did a lot of healing work. So congratulations to whoever this is, because I never know who I'm talking to. Now let's just see for shits and giggles. What else? What else the collective needs to know regarding this energy? Let's see what else we got. Let's go one more time. And if you want to expound on this, or you feel like this resonates and I'm really speaking to you, like, go ahead and just hit the description, look at my schedule, you know. A lot of the time I do have availability for most days. Oh, okay. And once again, we got healing. Okay, this is all about healing. If this ain't nothing else, like healing, okay? Literally, you see the card, okay? Sacred Waters is talking about the same thing. All of this is about healing, rejuvenation, recovery. That's all they keep screaming, okay? Within your heart space and love, okay? And then next we have is intuition, okay? Really listening to your intuition. Your intuition will let you know when you are coming into your divine timing. You'll know. It'll speak to you. It's gonna come out. Okay, let's see what else they got for the collective. Let's see. I knew they had something. I just didn't know what or whatever. Okay. And to follow your dreams. Okay, I love that. I love that with following your dreams. Understanding that when you do come on the other side of this, because everything comes in cycles, okay? Everything comes in cycles. You may be down for a hot minute, but you ain't gonna live in that motherfucker. I mean, come on now, let's keep it a buck. Following your dreams, really putting yourself out there. And within following your dreams, understand that you're doing it after you done healed and then basically did the work, as they like to say. But you trust yourself so much now, like your intuition ain't gonna lie to you. And you trust yourself more now because you know that you sat in the discomfort, you sat and went through the process, the healing process as you see fit, and now you know when you're ready to come up out of there. Okay, I feel like that because I feel like I'm speaking to several people. Some people or whatever may just be starting the process or whatever, and that's okay. Okay, because everybody's timing is different, and that's the biggest part about this whole thing. Okay, there is no right or wrong way to go about this shit or whatever, because it solely just depends on the person. It solely depends on the person. How that saying go, when you know you sick and tired or whatever, and you really sick and tired this time, you know when you at that point, because you're going to actually be more willing to actively put forth the effort to implement change. And with this person or whatever, it's like the change that you had to go through was, hey, sitting with some wounds, sitting with some shit that you really didn't want to face or you really didn't like or whatever, and then start doing the healing and cleansing and clearing process or whatever with different forms of water, whether if that was crying or taking a shower or whatever the case may be, right? But in the process of you doing all that, you also are putting action forth with rewiring the way that you love, and you are, whether if it's you talking to loved ones and people that you already have in your circle, or maybe some people had to even recreate a whole new circle or whatever, and then communicating with those people as to how you know, hey, this is how I want to be loved or treated or whatever the case may be. And then, you know, y'all go back and forth as to the terms and conditions, because I'm pretty sure they got their level of how they want to be loved and stuff too, and see if that shit rock or mesh or whatever the case may be. But most importantly, you trust yourself enough now with your intuition. It's like, yeah, hey, whoever I'm talking to, male or female, like, you are doing the damn thing. You understand that your timing is now, okay? Now like no other. And it's saying once you get to this level of peace and calm, it look like he's sitting at a bus stop waiting on the bus. It don't even matter what your situation is. Maybe you don't got a car, okay? But guess what? You'll get one eventually, but you're at peace regardless of whatever your circumstances and situation is, and you know that now there's nothing holding you, there's nothing stopping you, because you done went through this healing phase, literally. Okay, there's going to be several other phases after this, but maybe this one was more of just like the actual real grunge dirty work. You had to really get in there, okay, right? And now it's just like everything is not going to be necessarily a cakewalk or whatever, but you have more of a level of understanding of not only just who you are as a person internally and then expounding on that externally, but just like things are just going to move smoother for you, whoever I'm speaking to, okay? Like following your dreams, really, I can't express that enough. I can't express that enough. Really following your dreams, going after the shit that you want, and you coming from a healed space where it's like you are literally unfuckwithable. You are untouchable. Like this energy is just it's what it is. Okay, this shit is badass. Whoever I'm speaking to, like you are about to do some amazing monumental things. Okay, some legacy things. Even the healing that you are doing, that's a legacy within itself. Okay, because one of the biggest things that people don't like to do is to sit in discomfort, and you sat with those wounds, you sat with those different emotions, you asked yourself the hard questions, you did the quote unquote work. Okay, and now it's time to start thriving. And what better timing, okay, with literally we're in the year of the horse now. Things are starting to take off and take flight. It's time to like really start just like, hey, balls to the wall. Do what you said you was going to do. Show up for yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to your intuition. You trust yourself more now or whatever. It's not going to let you down. Okay? Like, whoever this is, like, congratulations. Because I know that this shit was not easy. Was not easy. So this is what I have for y'all. Okay? Whoever I'm talking to, like, keep persevering, okay, depending on any part of the stage of the sacred waters that you are in. But it's all about healing. Whether if you feel healed enough to follow your dreams, healed enough to listen to your intuition, healed to communicate with people in the different ways that you like to be loved, all of these different forms and facets, okay? Every last one of them is very important, whether if you're doing all of them combined or you're doing a few of them. It don't really matter depending on your situation and you as the person. I don't know you like that. But in the meantime, in between time, thank you guys so much for listening with the Lotus. Okay, I appreciate y'all. And if you if you would like to do a personal reading, you can always go to the description in any of my videos. And in the meantime, in between time, y'all take care and I love you. Bye.